I'm scrolling through news from college campuses this week, and somehow there are multiple reports involving alleged university lynchings. Before you ask yourself why lynchings wouldn't be bigger news, remember, this is in the context of campus culture. So these are metaphorically described interpretations originating from a fact pattern that in no way supports them. At the University of Maryland, police investigated a piece of plastic wrap reported under a tree at Frat Row. This spotter urging you to make your own conclusions about what this stray garbage actually represents. This sighting was reported and investigated as a possible hate bias incident. Preliminary investigation reveals that this type of material is used to contain and protect loose items during transport. But that's all pending review of security cameras in the area. Sure, you laugh now, but what happens when the investigation reveals that this hateful saran wrap once carried a Klan burger and swastika fries to go, flame broiled over a burning cross? That investigation continues. Perhaps I'll return to it when formal findings are published. But the investigation into the other recent reported campus lynching is now concluded. In fact, lynching was the recommended course of action from the investigators in that case, at least according to an Essex County College professor now fired after an inflammatory appearance on Tucker Carlson's show. A firing, she says, was an effort for humiliation. Essex County College publicly lynched me in front of my students, she says. Kinda. If we're going with the lynching metaphor, I'd say it was less like a murderous mob chasing you down and killing you unjustly, and more like a cautionary mob, unsuccessfully urging you to reconsider your own impending suicide. But yeah, other than that, it was exactly like a lynching. This professor is Lisa Durden, a communications professor at Essex County College, a community college in Newark, New Jersey. She was supportive of a recent Black Lives Matter exclusively black Memorial Weekend party in New York City, an unapologetically segregated event called the People's Turn Up, where there is no body shaming, sexism, transphobia, fat phobia, toxic masculinity, or violence. But racism is encouraged, in fact mandatory. The party is black only. You must identify as black to attend. And even if you're a white person who loves black people, please respect the space and stay out. But what if you love black people and you show it with some damn good permanent cosplay? Every segregation policy needs a Dolezal King clause. Just for clarification, Tucker Carlson booked Lisa Durden to defend this segregated event, and the interview was immediately contentious, even by his show's standards. Tucker begins by asking the obvious question. If Black Lives Matter's primary complaint is the unjust judgment and punishment of people on the basis of race, why are they judging and punishing people on the basis of race?
I was confused by this because I thought the whole point of Black Lives Matter, one of the points would be to speak out against singling people out on the basis of their race and punishing them for that. Because you can't control what your race is, and yet they seem to be doing that. Explain that to me.
What I say to that is boo-hoo-hoo. You white people are angry because you couldn't use your white privilege card to get invited to the Black Lives Matters All Black Memorial Day celebration. Wow.
I don't have a white privilege card. Amex only gave me the one that corresponds to my race, which is translucent. But even if I did have one, why would I use it to try to get into a Black Lives Matter party? And why would I be angry if I couldn't go? Oh no, guess I'll go do one of the million exclusive, awesome other things I supposedly have special access to. What a bummer.
I just have a really simple question for you. If you don't like people excluding others on the basis of their race, and in society we agree that that's bad. I agree it's bad, you agree it's bad. Then why are you doing it? And why are you defending it now?
White folks crack me up all of a sudden when we want to have one day for black folks to focus on ourselves, but you've been having White Day forever. You don't say the words anymore because you know it's politically incorrect.
We don't use the words anymore? When was there ever White Day? Has there been secret white day and nobody told me about this? Is it written in white font on the all-white calendar? You know, I guess if you squint, you can kind of see it. Maybe I should make an eye appointment.
But you've had an all-white Oscars, all these movies with all-white
well, if you
actors,
don't like
movie
it,
after movie
why
after
are you
movie,
perpetuating it?
all-white TV shows with white casts over and over and over again. The Bachelorette, it took 11 seasons to have a black Bachelorette. Are you serious?
It's actually The Bachelorette's 13th season, but considering black people make up about 13% of the US population, roughly 1 out of 10 of the contestants being black is proportional. If you sampled 10 American women at random, you'd expect one and only one to be black. You wouldn't scream, "Only one black woman, are you serious?"
Let me ask you this. Do you think it would be fair if white people did come to a Black Lives Matter celebration?
They do all the time. When you look at Black Lives Matter,
do you use the same water fountain that they do?
And you see Black Lives Matter coming together collectively for different issues. You see people of all races. So we do accept them. This particular day, they said, stay your asses out. We want to celebrate today. We don't want anybody going against us today.
And you can't celebrate if someone who doesn't look like you is around?
Yes, you can, but you can also say, I don't want to do it. It's a personal choice.
Sick. And what you're saying is disgusting. And if you were a Nazi, I would say the same thing to you.
Luckily, I'm not a Nazi.
Glad we cleared that up. Noted, this black lady is not an Aryan nationalist. Now, understandably, a person of this perspective, tasked with the responsibility of shaping young minds, is not a popular idea to many in light of this segment. Essex County College's administration received numerous complaints, and 2 days after that segment aired, the college suspended Professor Durden until further notice. That suspension lasted almost 2 weeks until she was fired on June 20th after a meeting of the school's board of trustees. The college president saying her values are at odds with the college and racism cannot be fought with more racism. On Monday, she appeared on Roland Martin's show to explain what happened.
Okay, so you get fired because precisely what?
That's very interesting. I went to the campus on the 7th, taught my class, came back on.
And what class were you teaching?
Oh, actually, I was teaching summer session 1, which was effective speech. Ironically,
she teaches effective speech. It's right after Jared Fogel's class on effective marketing and Bernie Madoff's class on effective business ethics. That's her morning class anyway. In the afternoon, she teaches advanced flexibility training. You know, how to stick your foot all the way down your throat with your head still firmly up your own ass. She describes her experience with the college administration and HR department.
A conflict of you going on a show.
Those were her words. I just took and then she shot me the letter. The letter was signed by Dr. Lee, the vice president.
And that was a suspension letter.
Correct, and he was sitting right there, but she handed me the letter with his own signature on there.
And then a couple days later, then they say, no, you're fired.
No, almost 2 weeks later. So 2 weeks later, all of a sudden, you're coming up with the reason. And the reason is, according to what the president released, Mr. Monroe, that they received all of these complaints from students and concerned teachers and faculty. So interestingly, you suspended me 2 days later with all these so-called complaints, and they didn't materialize until 2 weeks later. Where are they?
It didn't take 2 weeks for cause to materialize. It took 2 weeks for fair process to proceed. A fair process which included pay and an appearance before the Board of Trustees at their next scheduled meeting. As the president describes, this delay was in pursuit of fair and immediate review. What she's complaining about isn't the duration of a witch hunt. It's the time needed for due process. Per protocol, I was expecting this firing to be blamed on the secret society of white supremacism. But she debunks that angle herself, much to the surprise of the hosts.
So Essex County College is predominantly black?
And Dr. Lee is African-American, so is Mr. Monroe, the vice president and the president. Absolutely, the administration is black.
Oh, that's okay.
And vice.
So you're not a minority amongst the faculty either?
Absolutely not.
And they're all gasping with confusion and surprise. You mean to tell me that a black college president and a largely black board of trustees at a predominantly black college fired a black professor? It's as if they care more about integrity and values than racial identity. What a bunch of Professor Toms.
So I marched in there to debate with him. I'm not there to be nice to you, but when a black woman's on television who is direct, who's aggressive, we're angry. Well, when Judge Jeanine Pirro's on TV pointing and screaming and yelling, she's intelligent. And when Nancy Grace is coming on television, she's intelligent. Well, I'm an expert. I'm a journalist and a documentary filmmaker that also does feature films. So I'm in front of the camera and behind the camera. So why can't I come on there and be aggressive?
Is that why you were fired, though, just for being aggressive on TV? Was the firing for too much enthusiasm, or was it for advocating racially segregated social gatherings? Was this really about style and not substance? Did the college president fire you saying, you know, it's rather unfortunate you said boo-hoo white people, stay your asses home? We would have preferred something softer, like, I apologize, Caucasians, but I cannot extend sympathy. I respectfully request the absence of your racial kin at our forthcoming social gathering. But do not weep, for your tears will not persuade me otherwise. It is amazing to me that somebody with such an imprecise relationship with language got a job anywhere, at any level, teaching anybody how to communicate. As we saw, she told local news that her firing was a public lynching. Even in the metaphorical sense, a lynching via due process is no lynching at all. But she didn't stop there. In a phone interview, she also compared her experience to a rape victim who is blamed for the crime, and a person who returns from war to a hostile environment at home because she had the courage to go into enemy territory on Fox News, and other black people should celebrate her for that. Now, is this a just firing? I don't know. On Roland Martin's show, she actually hints that she may be filing a lawsuit against the school on First Amendment grounds, since she is being punished by a public institution for voicing her opinion as a private citizen. The concept of free speech when the government is an employer involves a lot of interesting questions I'll have to leave for another day. For now, I'll just be glad that she's not teaching anybody else communication techniques. I extend her the same sympathy she extends me. Boo-hoo-hoo. Wow. Thanks as always for listening and for supporting this channel. Always appreciate that thoughtful discussion down below, and especially over on Twitter, that is at ML Christiansen. You're always welcome to coming out and chat in my live streams. Those are linked down in the description. Looking forward to it.